and as much of our ERS as possible. Maybe we could try and make a move around the outside of our teammate Ackerman. Will this work? It's going to be very risky. Obviously we don't want to collide like we did in Australia and China, but looks like we've managed to make a move stick very nicely. But we are going to come home in a solid P5 here. I think that's a very good result after starting near the back of the grid. Oh no, what a shame. A front right puncher. Just showing how much better the newer softs are compared to the older mediums, as we're going to try and swoop right around the outside of Nicholas Latifi, and we've made the move stick very nicely on him. Somehow it looks like we are actually the hot talking point around the Formula 1 paddock after our incredible recovery drive to get back into P10 with fastest lap after dropping back to P17.
Besides, anything for our star driver. Casper, how are you today? Feeling good about the race?
And his teammates after him! Will he budge?
Pole position, Aiden.
Oh, I've never seen anything like this on a racetrack before! Two teammates wheel to wheel! Keep it clean! Inches separating them and they crash! Oh, they've come together in spectacular style, and they're both out of the race!
Yo, what's up guys, welcome to the channel, and today I'm back again continuing my F1 2021 Breaking Point series. So today is actually the start of the 2021 season for this series, so it's going to be really interesting. Obviously it ended in a bit of disaster, to say the least, at Racing Point for, you know, Aiden Jackson and Casper Ackerman. So hopefully we can do a bit better this season and maybe have a good one for Aston Martin. But yeah, let's just jump straight into it and see how it goes.
Here we are then, another season of Formula 1 racing is upon us. Some teams confident following pre-season, whilst others still looking for answers. Let's see what the future holds for them as qualifying gets underway here in Melbourne. So, Aiden Jackson in ninth, but Aston Martin still hopeful the youngster can secure a decent position. Let's see how he gets on here. Teammate Casper Ackerman didn't make it through to Q3, narrowly missing out by just
13 milliseconds. You did all you could. If I went out second today, I would have those 13 milliseconds back, no problem. Why do they keep sending me out first?
11th isn't the end of the world, Casper. You'll make those places back.
Yeah, for sure. But I shouldn't have to.
Well, look at that then. Obviously we're playing as Casper Ackerman in this season, so it looks like there's already been tension as Casper is getting, well, not the correct treatment, but it looks like we got a call from Zoe, so I'll let you listen to this quickly.
Zoe, hey.
Morning, Daddy.
Lily, you know it's not morning where Daddy is, right?
Mummy says you're on the other side of the world.
That's right. Daddy is in Australia. I'm upside down.
Then why don't the cars fall off?
Mommy can explain that. Can I speak to her?
Don't fall off, Daddy.
I won't, Lily. Promise.
Hey, qualifying not so good, huh?
They sent me out first.
Again?
Yeah.
Well, some of your best races were coming from midfield.
Yeah?
Yeah. Besides, I thought you loved a challenge. Lils, off the table. Now. It's breakfast time. I should go.
Sure.
You'll be great. You always are. Love ya.
Love you too.
It looks like Casper has got his wife and his daughter, and Aiden has got his mum. So yeah, anyway, as I was saying, it looks like Casper is a bit disappointed that he's not getting the same treatment as obviously Aiden is, as he thinks Aiden's the #1 driver as of right now. So yeah, at the moment it's not really too fair, but obviously playing as Ackerman now, we kind of need to try and get better results, so that is my aim really now.
Something's not right.
Understood, Casper. We're on it.
It's the gearbox. I lost the gear.
Push on, Casper. We're assessing. Just push on best you can.
I'll try.
I'm starting to think Casper's getting all the bad luck really in this series, so it's not great. But obviously we will try and manage with what we've got. So it looks like we are missing, well, I guess we'll find out as we flick up the gears. Oh, we're missing 7th gear. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting to say the least. I don't really know how I'm going to hold.
Okay, bad news on the gearbox. The team are trying everything they can think of, but they're not optimistic. Just keep at it, do your best. That's all we can ask.
So yeah, that's basically confirmation we're definitely screwed then. We're missing 7th gear. Jeff said there's no chance we have of fixing it. So I'm just going to have to try and push, and yeah, look at that, the revs just are so low when we move up to 8th. Devon Butler's catch us straight away, and well, down this next straight I think he might even get us because he's going to have DRS as well, and we're just not going to bother to even bow him because I might just try and let him past and then use his DRS, you know, that'll get off him to advantage to get the revs as high as possible in 6th gear, then flip up to 8th. And also I'm going to try and use ERS as well to help me out as well. So I feel like we might be able to get P12 at most here. I definitely know we won't be overtaking Devon Butler back for the position for P11. But we can have a good chance of, you know, at least finishing the race. And at the moment we have actually set a personal best set to 1. So we're not doing too bad, to be honest. I think there's only a couple places where you really move up to 8th gear. Or well, it would be 7th gear. But you go straight to 8th, which is really here, the 2nd straight, and then the main straight. I don't think really there's anywhere else, and maybe here as well, but we will get DRS obviously, and we'll use our ERS to try and make the flip up to 8th as well nice as possible really, without losing too much revs in the engine. And it seems like it worked because we kept Ocon behind us very nicely there, and we have actually personal best set to 2 there, so we are actually doing a very good job at the moment. And Devon Butler's really helping us out really by just giving us a slipstream and his DRS as well. So we will flip open the DRS once again. I don't know if we'll be able to hold on to Ocon. We're going to use our ERS as well, trying to keep in 6th for as long as possible before flipping out to 8th. It seems to have worked because we've actually caught down Devon Butler through that straight there very nicely. I mean, he didn't have DRS, but I'll take that any day. So yeah, we'll just keep pushing on though, and hopefully maybe keep up good pace. So cut to halfway through lap 12, we are really struggling right now with this gearbox issue. We still have personal best set to 1, which I'm really surprised about, to be honest. But through here I decided to use no ERS, which was really stupid of me. Ocon, obviously with his 7th gear, managed to absolutely steam past me, making a mistake just before he got to the fast chicane there. And even Sonoda, who was just sat behind him, is going to try and make a move maybe. Obviously this time I decided to actually use my ERS. We're going to have to try and outbrake Sonoda into this next corner here, and we seem to do that very nicely. Even with the gearbox issue, we're still late on the brakes. But sadly we are down to P13, which isn't ideal, but let's just try and finish the race. That's just my aim. I don't care where I finish in this race, I just want to finish the race now. I mean, it's the opening race of the season, and I think the best thing to do now with a gearbox issue is just complete the race and just nurse the car home basically. So even though we have a gearbox issue, we are still putting in personal best sectors here, as you can see, and personal best lap times. And we are actually keeping with Ocon and Butler here, who are battling each other. That might be affecting them a bit compared to me, whereas I'm just sitting behind them, following them really. So I'm just going to keep doing that and using the DRS and the ERS off them. But here we actually go extremely wide here, completely lose the back end, flip the DRS open, which ruins it more, and we lose all traction, and that's our race basically over there. That was definitely a massive rookie mistake that I should have not been making at that point in the race. But yeah, as you can see, just go extremely wide, flip the DRS open and completely lose the back end, and having the DRS open just ruined it more really. Even though I felt like retiring, I decided to still carry on the race, as luckily I avoided damage from that spin and I came home in P14.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Well, what's happened there to Casper Ackermann? Still managed to finish, but that's got to be frustrating, Ant.
Yeah, looks like maybe it was a gearbox fault, which is always a blow for the driver. Ackermann won't be happy, but I'd say he's done very well in the circumstances.
Well, this isn't the start he would have wanted after last season. Let's hope things pick up for him. Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves.
Bad luck out there today. Let's talk about it. So, not a great race out there for you today, Casper. Can you talk us through what happened?
I don't want to go into details. I'm angry. I'm really angry. I was ready to push it today. To have all that preparation and focus wasted by a vehicle fault. I'm almost lost for words.
Well, despite obvious vehicle difficulty, you still managed to finish. How hard is it to bring it over the line when facing such issues?
Well, it's almost impossible. You have the race going on around you, and all you want to do is compete. Your adrenaline is up, but there's nothing you can do about it. What else can I say?
While it's an unfortunate start to this season, last season was muddied by a tense relationship with your teammate. How are things now with you and Aiden?
Well, let's just say the gearbox fault probably wouldn't have happened in Aiden's car. Perhaps it's because I'm more experienced and can handle myself better. But the team does seem to be keeping a closer eye on Aiden's performance. We'll just see how the season develops, I guess.
Great. Well, that's everything.
So yeah, on that one I decided to go for answers that I think Casper Ackerman would probably say after I have been teammates with him the past seasons. So yeah, I just thought it'd be interesting, to be honest. But yeah, as you see, the media is all over my answers that I gave, which is quite funny to say the least. But I bet the team won't be happy with it, but what can I do? I mean, I was pretty disappointed the fact that, you know, we had that gearbox issue when I think we could have easily been Butler, possibly even challenged for a couple points, who knows. But I guess that's how it works out. Sometimes you have a bit of bad luck in motorsports, sometimes you have a bit of luck. And as you see, some of the posts are on about, obviously, my interview and the issues that I had, and sadly the bad luck I've run into in the past, well, season even. So yeah, but I guess we just need to concentrate on the next race.
I'm losing grip.
Understood. Can you box next lap, Casper? Box next lap.
No, I need to come in now. It's quite bad.
We've got Aiden coming in now. Just hold out one more lap, please, Casper.
Isn't he a lap down?
Yes, he's on a different strategy, though.
Haven't I got priority?
He's boxing now. Please hold off, Casper.
Fine. Nope. I'm all over the place here. I'm coming in now. Must have been pretty urgent for Aiden, huh?
Please be patient, Casper.
There goes another place. And another. Okay, let's go, let's go.
Okay, that wasn't ideal. Let's see if you can get a few places back, please, Casper.
I'm on it.
So I guess now we have to play a bit of a chasing game. I kind of want to know what Aston Martin were thinking with that strategy. I mean, Aiden was a lap down, like Casper said, so why didn't I get priority for the pit stop? I mean, that's a bit weird to say the least, but I guess we just have to push on. Obviously brand new mediums now, so we can actually try and catch people. And it looks like the first person we're actually going to catch up to the back of is Fernando Alonso. So coming through here, we catch him very quickly, just showing how much better our new mediums is compared to his old softs, as we send it down the inside of Fernando and make him move stick very nicely there. On a corner that's not really an overtaking opportunity, but we've managed to make him move stick very nicely nevertheless. So next is actually Daniel Ricciardo in the McLaren, but just behind him is our teammate, who has been lapped obviously, like we said. So let's try and chase him down and overtake him and lap him, just to show that, you know, we are still the more experienced teammate and we are still on the pace compared to him. So yeah, that's my aim really, just lap him, try and get into the points as high as possible and see what position we can get basically. So now coming down towards the hairpin section where we really catch our teammate here, and this is a point where really the blue flag's come into play and he has to let us through. So we get past our teammate and lap him, just showing that we are still the dominant driver and the more experienced driver. And now we are right on the back of Daniel Ricciardo. Obviously I think we got the DRS there probably from lapping our teammate, but nevertheless it really helps that we got DRS and we can try and push to the absolute limit. Now obviously we are on the newer compound of tyres, so we could try and maybe have a go on him, maybe down the inside here again, like we did on Fernando. No, we're not quite close enough like we were with Fernando, but nevertheless we're going to get a very good exit, try and get the slipstream, use as much of our EOS as possible, maybe into the final corner. Should we try and send it down inside of him there? Nah, a bit too far. Maybe we should just try down the straight. I think the straight will be the easiest place to really get it. As we get a very good exit, we'll flip the DRS open, use as much of our EOS as possible, try down the inside of Daniel Ricciardo. He is going to get a bit of slipstream here from Tsunoda just ahead here because he's actually sat in behind him, but we brake late as possible and make the move stick very nicely on Ricciardo. We do tap Tsunoda a little bit there, so we have to watch out. Obviously we don't want to ruin our race by doing that, but luckily we don't get any damage, neither does Tsunoda, and we make the move stick very nicely. But we're not going to stop there, we're going to keep pushing here through the S-bend section, down towards the hairpin. Should we send it down inside of Tsunoda? Screw it, let's go for it. Send it down inside of Tsunoda and make the move stick very nicely up to P8 now then. Don't get the best of exits, which isn't too great, but it looks like we still got a better exit than what Tsunoda did. And now a couple corners later, we can have a go on Ocon. Should we send it down the same corner we did on his teammate? Screw it, we'll go for it, send it down the inside, and made the move stick very nicely on Esteban Ocon. The exact same corner we did on his teammate too, so just to make it a bit better. Next is actually Sergio Perez in the Red Bull. Can we actually try and get him for P6? It's going to be quite difficult to say the least, as obviously he's in a Red Bull and I'm in an Aston Martin, and arguably the Red Bull is better than the Aston Martin, but we have got the better tyres. We're actually going to go defensive here though, because as you can see Ocon has chased us down here. We are actually going to have to try and outbrake him here though, but luckily we do that pretty easily as he didn't get quite alongside of us there. So cutting to the end of lap 13 then, we are really close to Perez now, and obviously we're coming around the final corner and about to start the final lap of the race as well. We're going to get some insane slipstream and DRS here, and we use our EOS as well just to help us get speed quicker as well. And we're going to try slipstream, tuck it to the inside, go for it down the inside of Sergio Perez, and we have outbroken him very nicely into turn 1. Didn't get the best of exits there, so we're going to have to watch out a little bit. Maybe up here he will have DRS compared to us, but look at it, we had so much better exit though, and that is us up to P6 then. On the final lap, all we have to do now is just bring the car home. I think that was a very good recovery drive to say the least, and I definitely can't be disappointed at that one. So coming down towards the final corner now then, and I definitely can't complain about P6. Valtteri Bottas wins the 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix, but we're going to come home in a very good recovery drive of P6.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
An interesting little encounter between Ackerman and Jackson in the pit lane, and might that cause more friction behind the scenes?
Ackerman sounded pretty angry on the radio, didn't he? Told to box the next lap, but he came in anyway. That's not the decision of a man thinking clearly. Is he bringing his personal grievances onto the track? I think he could be.
They denied each other a significant number of points last season, and if today's anything to go by, those issues look like continuing. After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. Congratulations on a tough race today, Casper. To all of us watching, it seemed as if there was some sort of clash in pitting strategy. Can you talk us through it?
The team strategy was wrong, so I called it. I had to. Sometimes when you're the one behind the wheel, you've got to call the shots. I felt the tires begin to go off and realized I needed to come in. The team may disagree, but I pulled it back, so we'll see.
So the problem we all witnessed today was a team call, and not a sign of continuing tensions again this season between you and Aiden Jackson?
No, everything's fine. Today was just an issue with two competing strategies that caused an unfortunate clash. Yeah, Aiden and I had our problems last season, but that was then. This is now. Why do you ask?
Well, you seemed angry on the radio with your team. People are asking if that's an indicator of a deeper issue behind the scenes. What would you say to that?
Well, there's nothing to be concerned about. It's just adrenaline. You're in the middle of the race, you get hot. I can't even remember what I said. If it was, colourful, then I'm sure we'll all be laughing about it later.
Great. Well, that's everything.
I just don't get it, Zoe. He gets to pit ahead of me, and they give his car the only new power unit last season. And he gets to go out behind me in qualifying. This kid is the new #1 driver.
I don't believe that to be true.
But then why does he get paid more?
You're still upset about that?
No. But I don't know, maybe. I just wish I never found out.
It's not the money, though, is it?
I'm old.
You're not old.
Not this again. I am old. For a driver, I'm old.
Come on, this is your last season. You said you'd make it count.
I still need to tell them.
When will you?
Soon.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, forget about Jackson.
Okay.
And stop playing the victim. It doesn't suit you.
All right, okay.
It's Zandvoort next, remember? Everyone's gonna be rooting for you. Be the guy they love. And hey.
What?
Be the guy I love.
That's cute. Did you come up with that yourself?
I'm a natural-born charmer.
Yeah. Verstappen's got nothing on me.
You had to ruin it.
Not gonna lie, after watching that cutscene, I feel a bit bad for Casper Ackerman, not getting the same treatment. And, well, obviously, he's looking like he's gonna retire after this season then, so that's interesting for the story mode and a massive plot twist. So, obviously, he hasn't announced it completely yet, but obviously, as a player, we know. But yeah, for this one, I'm gonna leave this video here though. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to like and subscribe. But thanks for watching, and goodbye.